Back here now at 10:31 on Live Impact News. Waking up, walking out to a muggy day. No
Very
surprise.
muggy.
Come on, it's July 20th.
What else would you expect?
I mean,
That's my question.
we had 100 plus, a couple of weeks ago?
Yeah.
And so,
yeah.
Just sort of around that temperature, more of the same.
It's very typical, though. It's hot, it's muggy, and then storms, downpours, and then sunshine again.
Exactly.
A little bit of everything.
We got
but
this summer.
It's been hot. This weekend, I've spent some good time outside, but it was so muggy. I mean, if you're going to be out and about, you just got to plan for it and make sure you're hydrated. So let's get to it because we're following a lot of different things that's actually ongoing right now in the weather forecast. Waking up this morning, it's gorgeous. We have such beautiful blue skies out there here in the Queen City, Kannapolis, out towards the Speedway, and temperatures, they're already warming up. It's 85 degrees. And it's only 10:30 this morning. 85 here in the Queen City, slightly warmer to the south of us, and about 77 degrees up there in Boone. High temperatures today across the board, about 94 degrees is where we'll top off today. And once you add in the little bit of humidity, it's going to feel even hotter than that. So right around those mid-90s for most of us. When we're talking about our heat index value, remember, this is what it actually feels like. So the combination of our air temperature, with the humidity. So what it feels like when you're going to be out and about. 102 by 2 o'clock in the afternoon. By 5 o'clock tonight, 101 degrees. So if you typically do something on Monday nights, maybe you plan to go golfing or meet up with friends to go play some pickleball, or maybe you just wanted to have some dinner outside on the patio, just know it's going to be quite sticky through most of the day. Let's look at some of our weather headlines because we have rain and storm chances each and every day in our 7-day forecast. Even that severe weather potential. So even today, as those storms form, some of those storms could become strong to severe. Temperatures for the next 3 days are going to be hot. I mean, 90s, you're not going to feel that much of a difference. It's just been so hot. But by the middle to end of our work week, temperatures are going to drop into the not into the 60s. I wish they were in the 60s. Temperatures will be dropping into the 80s, and they're going to be holding steady for multiple days in a row. So here's our satellite and radar continuing to look fine. We are waking up to sunny skies. I want to show you our futurecast though, because I think this kind of tells the story really well. We have a stalled front right across the Carolinas, and that is going to deliver eventually several rounds of scattered showers and storms. But look at that low pressure system off the Gulf. That could be our next named storm. Possibly it could have its name by the end of the day today. So we're working with two different weather elements that's going to play a factor in our weather forecast. So first, let's kind of talk about the tropics, what's going on there. So we have tropical storm watches and warnings that have been issued really across the panhandle of Florida. That is the area that's going to be kind of the main focus for today, but it's going to trend more westward. Watch what happens when we're looking at what is now called Tropical Depression 2. This is the 8 a.m. advisory. So what we know is that winds, they're moving about 35 miles an hour, max sustained winds. In order for it to become a tropical storm, it needs at least 39. So we're basically almost there, very, very close. And once it becomes that tropical storm, we'll start to see the name of that. You can see the track of this, though, how it kind of starts to go more north and west, tracking more towards Louisiana. Likely that's where it's going to make landfall before it continues to move more westward out towards Texas. It's kind of moving slowly right now. It's encountering some shear. So with that being said, it's right now just that tropical depression, but we'll see if it picks up that intensity, and if it does, of course, we'll let you know. So far for our Atlantic hurricane season, we've only had Arthur. This next one that could be named today, if not today, likely by tomorrow, it would be Bertha. So watching that very closely across the Gulf. I like this graphic because it kind of helps you understand when the different advisories are updated by the National Hurricane Center, the different times. So the latest one was at 8 o'clock this morning. The next one will be at 11 o'clock. So we'll see if it does pick up any strength or if anything changes. It's 10:35 right now, and remember, you can always catch me over on the midday show starting at 11:30 to 12:30, and if there's any updates on that, I'll be sure to let you know on WCNC. I like this graphic too because it tells you all the different times that those advisories advisories come out, those updates. So we had one at 5 a.m. that was a full update, and then the 8 a.m. one was kind of a smaller one, another bigger one at the 11 o'clock advisory, and then 2 o'clock this afternoon, 5 p.m. tonight, and so on and so on. I want to focus now in on our severe weather threat. So we talked about the tropics, and we're going to be watching that system. Our severe weather threat today, you can see nearly our entire viewing area is under that risk for severe storms. So it doesn't mean it's going to be widespread. In fact, it doesn't mean that everyone's going to see raindrops or even storms, but if those storms form, they may have the ability to quickly become strong to severe. All areas shaded in yellow, that's at low end risk. The greatest risk today is east of us, shaded in orange. Zooming it in, now this is Tuesday for tomorrow. I think that increased risk is going to be something that we're going to have to watch, especially right along the I-40 corridor and then northwest of that, really focusing on areas shaded in orange because that's where it's going to be a little bit more widespread. Then as we head towards Wednesday, you can see we're all still shaded in either yellow or orange, meaning we have a low to medium risk for severe storms. So bottom line, we're starting out the week hot, hazy, 90. It's going to be very humid, and then each and every day we have the risk for storms and rain. We'll take the rain, but those storms could become strong to severe. As we're looking at our futurecast, let me see if I can back this up really quick. We'll pause time at about 5 o'clock this evening. So some of those storms start to form. You can see them really shaded in the oranges and the reds. That's where the rain's going to be coming down quite intensely. It's that brief heavy downpour that could lead to some localized flooding. Again, not everyone sees it. And then heading into our Tuesday morning starts out really pretty, gorgeous. If you want to get outside and beat the heat, do it sooner rather than later, because by Tuesday afternoon, we'll have another round of those afternoon and evening storms. Very isolated. I think really we'll have to watch Wednesday. Wednesday starts out quiet, but once we get that warming and that humidity, that's fuel in our atmosphere for the storms to pop off. This is even 8 o'clock on Thursday morning, which could be, at this point, seems like Thursday could be the day that we get the most amount of rain. So if those storms turn severe, strong, damaging winds, that's going to be the thing. So if you have things outside that might blow away or get damaged, I always like to tuck away my patio furniture, make sure that's brought in so they don't go flying over or the cushions go away. Just make sure everything's secure, because those winds will be the #1 concern. And if you know anything about the Carolinas, it doesn't take that strong of winds to see tree damage, to see down power lines, to see that sort of thing. I mean, especially with the drought, a lot of the trees are just really needing that rain. So a lot of them are lacking the nutrients that they need, so they're weak. So you get some strong wind gusts up to around 30 miles an hour, and that can take down a pretty big tree. And when we have a severe thunderstorm warning, some of those winds could gust up to around 60 miles an hour. So we'll be watching for down trees, down power lines over the next few days. Localized flooding out on those roads. That's when that ponding happens really fast, and if you get caught in one of those and you're traveling, I always just tell people, drive a little slower, especially if you're driving in rain. That always helps. I've been hearing a lot of talk about this, a lot of questions. People have been asking me, well, how much longer are we going to be in a drought? How much more rain do we need? And look at this. In 1 month, there's a 0% chance that we're going to get out of the drought in Charlotte and Statesville. And nearly that as we're looking at Morganton. And over the next 3 months, there's really still a very low chance that we're going to get out of it here in the Queen City. But look at this. I mean, this is going to be something that we're going to be following for the next several months, because we still need quite a bit of rain. Over the next 7 days, here's our Jerry Hunt Supercenter 7-day forecast. Like I mentioned, we're starting out the week hot, hazy, humid each and every day. We have the rain chances. I like the rain chances each day in our 7-day forecast. Scattered today, I would say very isolated tomorrow, so less likely tomorrow. And then Wednesday and Thursday seems a bit more active when it comes to the rain and the storm coverage. Even as we're heading into next weekend, this upcoming weekend, temperatures will be into the 80s, so it's going to feel a lot different. I think it's still going to feel humid, but the clouds will make it feel cooler. We'll have rain. I think many of us will get rain at some point during the week. I think it's just going to be those storms that we have to watch, because they'll be capable of turning severe. It's still severe weather season, and with those storms, you just need to make sure you're mindful of that if you're doing anything outside where you can seek shelter quickly, because they're quite intense. Did you have any last night or early this morning that you woke up to, Jane?
No.
Okay.
Actually, I don't remember being woken up to storms or wind, and not like last week, you know, in the middle of the night. How about you?
out for the count.
Yeah. I wasn't woken up by them either.
We're still kind of out for the count too.
Yeah.
We're like just
We're making it.
We're sleeping with our eyes open.
We're making it on a Monday.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There were many people we were talking about on the morning show, and they were woken up by the storms.
Oh, wow.
Last night when I was driving into work early this morning, there was lightning still off to the distance, that sort of thing. So that's just how this time of the year is.
Summer,
like this
for
neighborhood
sure.
gets it. This neighborhood's like, what are you
Doesn't,
talking
right.
about? This neighborhood gets 3 inches. This one's like, I haven't seen rain for weeks.
Right.
Now, how about this wind? Do you think that is a widespread thing?
I think it's going to be breezy Wednesday and Thursday, but I think it's those storms. If you get caught in one of those thunderstorms, then those winds really crank up. And because they have the severe weather threat, if they turn severe, they could have 58-mile-per-hour winds or more. You know, that's what it takes in order for a storm to turn severe.
All right, and so certainly today we'll be on
Yes,
the lookout
we'll have
for
to
that
watch
this
for those
afternoon,
storms,
that
afternoon and
rush.
evening. Yep, really anytime after 2 o'clock.
Okay, Majestic. At least to the end of this week, we're going to be more in that nice
Yeah.
80s.
Yeah, I'm
Back
looking
to
forward
the
that.
80s.
Nice little cool down for a little while.
All right, we like that. Thanks, Majestic.
course.
And we'll see you in a bit here on Live Impact News.